when the hurly-burly is done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place? Upon the heath.
There, to meet with Macbeth.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called the forest? I come, Grey Malkin. Cattlecall.
And on.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Other through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report to see the fire's height of the revolt of the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil is found its leaving.
Doubtful it stood, as two spit swimmers that do cling together and choke. Arr! The mirth, Miss MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel put to that, the multiplying villains of nature to swarm upon you from the western isles, of kerns and gallowglasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned coral smiling show like a rebel's. Oh! But all's too weak. The brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune, with his brandished steel which smote with bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King Scotland, Mark, no sooner justice and valor armed compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, the sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe and reeking wounds, memorize another cold with I cannot. Oh! But I am faint, my gaseous cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go get him surgeons.
Where hast thou been, sister? Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and mouched and mouched and mouched. Give me, quoth I, a roin thief, which the rump-fed Runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do, and I'll give thee a wind, thy kind,
And I another.
I myself have all the others. I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary, 7 nights 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak, and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have. Truly, here I have a pilot come, wrapped as homeward he did come.
Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Connor, began a dismal conflict, so that Valada's bridegroom laughed in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
A drop Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine,
And thrice to mine.
and thrice again to make up 9. Peace. The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called the forest?
What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are aught? Live you, Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once a choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glums!
No more that Thane of Cotter shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical or that which outwardly you show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction, of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and see which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail.
Lesser than Macbeth, than greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo!
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail!
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glums. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, prosperous gentleman. And to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be common. Say to which you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Were such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be
Oh,
kings.
you shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, is it not
So
so?
to the self-same tune it words.
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee to the sight. I'll pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor. In which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Was the thing as yet, and under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose, whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrath, I know not. But treasons, capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do not hope your children shall be kings. He knows the gave Thane of Cawdor to me. He promised no less to me.
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown beside the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousin, the word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. Supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my head? and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise. Nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stone.
New honors come upon him like our strange garments, please not their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come but come may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us form king.
Is execution done on Cawdor?
Think upon what hath chanced, and in what time winter of having reigned. Let us speak our free hearts, each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, come, friends.
Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. Yeah, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that, very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed as twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Thou hast less deserved, yet the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have less to say, for is thy due, and more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe, in doing it, pays itself.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of glory. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we shall establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only. The signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deserters. From hence to Inverness, and bind this further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
Unworthy come.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge.
The Prince of Cumberland? That is a step on which I must fall down. I know so weak, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desire.
When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished.
The eye wink at my hand, yet let that be, which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo. He is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. That's after him whose care has gone before to make us welcome.
Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title his weird sister saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, king that shalt be.
It is a peerless kinsman.
This I have thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dews of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to my heart. and farewell. Glamis, thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou promised. Yet I do fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, but not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, would not play false. Yet would wrongly win. Thou wouldst have, great Glamis, that which Christ thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishest be undone. Oh, hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirit in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tiding?
The king comes here tonight.
I'm glad to see it. Is not thy master with him? Who would so have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true, our thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. Yet neatly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
Come, you spirits, that tend on mortal thoughts, and sex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting Macbeth, thus approved by his loved mansionry, that the heaven's breath smells ruin we hear. On jetty, breeze, buttress, not going of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and appropriate cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate.
Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall and murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick light, and pall thee in the dullest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark, and cry, oh, great Glamis, oh, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and now I feel the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my thing, is as a book wherein men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that is coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and master down.
You will speak firmly.
And look a clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
I teach you how you shall be gladiators for your pains, and thanks for your trouble.
All our service in every point, twice done and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the vein of Condor? His great love, sharp as a spur, has hoped to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
If your servants ever had theirs themselves, and what is theirs in compt, to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave,
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could travel up the consequence and catch, and with his success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all. Here but here upon this bank and show of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here, in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman, and his subject, strong both against the teat, then as his host who should against his murder shut the door, not bear the life myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculty so meek, and been so clear his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet tongued against the deep damnation of his taking on. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the holy dew in every eye. That tear shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only bolting ambition, which relieves itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
At the asking.
Know you not he has?
Proceed no further in this business. With honor we are late. And I had bought golden opinions from all sorts of people which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so pale and green at what it did so freely? And this time such, I account thy love. Art thou afeared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Would thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would like the poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you'd be so much more the man. No time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I've given suck, and know how tender it is to love the babe that roots me. I would, whilst it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
Then fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the ardor of the brain shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only, for thine undaunted ready should compose nothing but men. It would not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it.
Who dares receive it other? As we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon this death.
Seventh, and bid each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mark the time with fair show. A false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 2 later, sir.
Fool. Take my sword. Oh, there's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that, too. Oh, heavy summons lies like lead upon me, yet I will not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thought that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there? What, sir? Not yet at rest. Oh, the king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. All this diamond he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant time.
At your kind's pleasure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, we shall make upon that point.
So I lose none. In seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear, I shall be counsel.
Good repose the while.
Well, thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go, bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, we clutch thee. Have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat of present breath? See thee here, in forms palpable as this which now I draw. Marshals me the way I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes make the fools of their senses. Why else worth all the rest? See thee still. On my blade and dungeon gouts of blood which was not so before. There's no such thing. It's the bloody business which informs us to mine eyes. Now, through the one-half world, nature seems dead. Wicked dreams abuse the curtains. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings. Living murder, alarmed by his sentinel for war. watch. Thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his desire, moves like a gun. I sure improve, said Earth. Fear not my steps which way they walk, for fear thy very stones praise of my whereabouts and take the present horror from the time, which now suits with it. As I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, or it is a knell that summons thee to heaven, or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It's the owl that shrieked. The fatal bell which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are opened and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their posets that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die. Alack, I am afraid they have awakened and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark. I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl shriek and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
No.
As I listened.
Mine.
He lies in the second chamber.
In vain.
Sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
This one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried, "Murder!" They did wake each other. I stood and heard them. They did say their prayers and addressed them against me.
There were two lodged together.
One cried, "God bless us." "Amen," the other. They had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say, "God bless us."
Consider it not so deeply.
Wherefore, God, amen. I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, "Sleep no more." Macbeth does murder sleep. Innocent sleep. Sleep that pits up the raveled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life. Great nature's second course. Chief nourisher of life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still the cry, "Sleep no more." To all the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep, therefore Cotter shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? What worthy fame? You to unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly on things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers from this place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. I've done it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. Sleeping in the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Mrs. Hancock. How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? Methinks my hand will rattle the multitudinous seas and crocodile, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chambers. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, to best not know myself. Wait, open with my knocking. And would thou couldst.
All right. There, no.
He is knocking indeed. If the man were porter of Hellgate, you should have old turning the key. No! There in the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Oh, come in time! Have napkins enow about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. No! There in the other devil's name. Well, faith. Here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, that committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. No! But this place is too cold for help. No devil porter, no further. I thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon. I pray you, remember the portal.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Oh, faith, sir, we were grousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Very, sir. Nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. Provokes desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him margin. It sits him on, and it takes him off, and it persuades him, and it harms him, it makes him stand to, and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him with sleep and giving him the lie. Please.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
Oh, that it did.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Tomorrow. Oh, is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call time on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
Labor, we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. To the point, sir.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamenting, so did the air. Strange screams of death and prophesied, with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue my heart cannot conceive nor name thee. Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke open the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say? The life?
Mean you, His Majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and double-bane! Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up, up and see the great doom's image!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parlay the sleepers of this house? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell.
Oh, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master's murdered.
Dear, doth thy privy contradict thyself and say it is not so?
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I lived a blessed time. For from this instant was nothing serious of mortality. All was but toys. For now the grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn from mere reeds. This life is all to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are. And do not know it. The spring, the head, mountain of your blood stopped. The very source of it stopped.
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all bathed with blood, so were their daggers, which, unwiped, we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the powers of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could be brave that had a heart to love? And in that heart courage makes love known.
Help me, handsome!
Look to the lady! Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for help? What should be spoken here? Where our fate, hidden in outer hall, may rush and seize us. Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed, nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady, and when we have our naked frailties hid and suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work, to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all! Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well content.
Aye, well content. What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy.
70 I can remember well. In the volume of which time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. This Sir Knight hath trifled former knowings.
Ah, good father, thou seest the heavens, has troubled with man's act, threatened this bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, if dark night does strangle the traveling lamp. Is night's predominance, or the day's shame that darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed thou'st done.
Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day. What good could they pretend?
They were suborned.
I'll to England.
Tired and dying.
Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's 2 sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's minds. The near in blood, the near bloody.
Against nature still.
This murderous shaft that John hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. There's more in him that which steals itself, when there's no mercy left.
Thriftless ambition that will break up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Will you to start?
No, cousin. Out of 5.
Well, I will do it.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, Father.
God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, caller, glawns, all, as the weird women promised, and I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? Hush no more.
Great feast and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Drive you this afternoon.
Aye, my lord.
I should have else desired your good advice in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. So far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parasite, filling their hearers with strange invention. Hie the horse. Adieu, till you return at night. Go swears with you.
Aye, my lord. Our time does call upon us.
Farewell. Let every man be the master of his own time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we'll keep ourselves till supper time alone. Whiles then, God be with you. Sir, a word. Tend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears and Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that darkness temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valiant act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. As it is said, Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade they speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. But great person, a vessel of my peace only for them. And mine eternal tool given to the common enemy of man to make them kings. The seeds of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there until we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then now, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference. Past in probation, how you perform in hand, how crossed the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else which might to half a soul into a notion praise. Say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known.
I did so. And went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed me to the grave and beggared yours forever? We are men, by the way. In the Cattlecall you go for men. His hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, shuts, upper rugs, and dimmy-wolves are cleft all by the name of dogs. Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, to wail his fall, while I myself struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command.
No, I like you the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something from the palace, and with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Leon's his son that keeps him company, whose absence to me is no less material than his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within.
Is Banquo gone from court?
It's concluded.
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Banquo, thy soul's life. If you find heaven, you must find it out tonight.
Say to the king I will attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Yours had. All was spent, where our desire is got without content. It is safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. Come now, my lord. Why do you keep alone? Sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotch this not killed. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of other forms. Let the frame of things disjoint, both the world asunder. Ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, who need to gain out peace of sin to peace, and on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done its worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign leaven, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek are your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial amongst your guests tonight.
So shall I love. So I pray be moved. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present an eminence with both eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces visards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest Banquo and his flails lives.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou, Jacques, ere the bats have thrown his cloister flight, ere to black-hacked sun, the sharp-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yarning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful will.
What's to be done?
The innocent of knowledge dearest trouble, for thou art offered me. Come, seeming night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day. With thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Like thickets, crow's wings will feel. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. How marvelous of my words, behold thee still. Things bad begun, make strong themselves.
Who do you bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
He needs no earnest trust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just. Stand with us. West it glimmers the streets of day. Now spurs the lady traveler pace to gain the harmony. Near approach the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses. Give us a light there, ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation are ready or in their court.
You know your own degrees. Sit down.
A light.
Is he?
At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Stand to it.
Thanks, dear Majesty.
It will be rain tonight.
Now.
Oh, treachery! Oh, fly, good plans! Fly! Fly! Thou mayest prevent! Oh, slave!
Who did strike out the light?
There's but one down. The sun is fled. We have lost the best half of our affair. Let's away and see how much is done.
Ourself will mingle with society, play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her will.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their hearts fed. Be large in mirth, anon we'll drink a measure, save around.
Look on my face as Ben goes in.
Tis better be without the heat within.
Is he dispatched? My lord, so it's cut that I get through.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good to do the like for France. If thou didst, if thou, but not for Ellen.
Which royal, sir? Nails escape.
Comes my fit again. Who's been perfect? Whole as the marble, founded as the rock. As bright and general as the case again. No cabined, cribbed, confined, bound in the saucy towns of fears. Banquo safe.
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head, the least at that nation.
Thanks for that. There the crow's serpent lies. The worm that fled hath nature that in time will then grieve him. No teeth but fled. Get be gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouched, while 'tis a making 'tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home. From thence the sauce to meat for ceremony meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrancer. Now good digestion waits upon appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is the news, your highness?
Don't say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His Highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been since his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him, and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I, the bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the very air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these starts and flaws embossed as true fear would well become a woman's story by a winter's fire authorized by her granddam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but upon a stool.
I stand here, I saw him.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. And I'll sit down. Give me some water. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend, Banquo, whom we met, though he were here. To all and him we thirst. Come out, and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost therewith.
Think of this good Pierce but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare? I dare. Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, yes. So, being gone, I am a man again. And such things being, overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder.
You have displaced the mirth and broken the meeting with most admired disorder.
You make me strange. Even to the disposition that I own would, I think, you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fever.
What sights, my lord?
Do not speak. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. And better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
We'll have blood, they say. But we'll have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by magpies and chumps and books. For the secretest man of the world. It's night.
Almost at odds with the morning, which is which.
How sayest thou that we doth denies his person of our great pity?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. Tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters, more shall they speak, for now I am bid to know by the worst leads the worst. For mine own good, all causes shall give way. My own blood stepped in so far. Should I weigh in no more, and turn those tedious as gold? Strange things I have in head, that will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
The season of all natures.
Come, sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that one's hard use. We are yet but young.
brinded cat hath mewed thrice, and once the hedge pig whined.
Hark your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fill it of a fetting simmering, in the cauldron boil and bake. I am mute and toad frog, full of vat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindwood sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble. Toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
How now, you secret, black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess. How are you come to know it? Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak, demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
In the flame.
Come high
Or
low thyself, and office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but speak thou not.
Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff, beware the thane of fight. Dismiss me. Enough!
Whatever thou art, for thy good caution thanks. Thou hast harked my fears aright. For one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here is another more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 dinners, I'd hear thee.
The bloody gold and black skull powered man, for none human boy shall harm death.
Then live, Macduff! What need I fear of thee? Make a shirtless double shirt, take a vaunt of fate, thou shalt not live! Then I may tell pale-hearted wearied flies and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this? Rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lying meadows proud and take no care, who chase, who frets, or where conspires are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee until great Burnham wood to hide Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. For who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound root. Sweet moments good. Rebellious head rise never to live. Wood to Burnham rise. And our high place, Macbeth, shall live the lease of nature. Pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if thou art can tell so much. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown beseer mine eyeballs, and thy hair And the gold-bound brow is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? Fourth, star eyes. What will the lines stretch out to the crack of doom? Sight. Now I see 'tis true. For the blood-bolstering Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Is this so?
Aye, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, you sisters, cheer we up his sprites and show the best of our delights, that this great king may kindly say our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Who without there?
What's your grace's will?
Saw you, your sisters.
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air where they ride. And damn all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was it came by?
'Twas 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
Time now anticipates my dread exploits. Flighting purpose never is overtook unless the deed go with it. In this moment, the very first things of my heart shall be the first things of my hand. And even now to crown my thoughts with acts being thought and done!
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his faith, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly?
Castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his pigs, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line.
He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. The poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, when the flight so runs against all reason.
No boasting like a fool! This deed I'll do before this purpose cool.
My dearest cousin, I pray you still your son. But for your husband, he's noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the bits of the season. I dare not speak much further. Cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
So much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace. My dear son, I take my leave at once.
Sir, your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou wouldst never fear the net nor the line, the pitfall nor the jig.
Why should I, mother? For birds they are not set for. My father is not dead for all your saying.
Yes, he is dead. And how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speaks with all thy wit, and that faith is wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Like one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest man.
Then the liars and swearers are fools. For there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
shade and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfallen burden. Each new morn, new widows howl.
But how wilt thou do for a father?
New orphans cry.
If he were dead, you'd weep for him.
New sorrows strike heaven on the face.
If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father. Look, Grandma, how thou talkst.
The heaven resounds as if it felt with Scotland and yelled out like syllable of gold.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. You will take a homely man's advice. Be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To frighten thus methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you a fell cruelty which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. Do good sometimes accounted dangerous folly. What are these?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified by such a thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shaggy villain!
What, maid?
No!
Don't cry, Church.
He has killed me, mother! Run away, I pray you!
When I believe, I will. What no believe. And what I can redress as I shall find the time to threaten, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you, yet. I am young. But something you may discern of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
What Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why, in that rawness left you wife and child?
I would not be the villain that
Be
thou
not
thinkest.
offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. When I shall tread upon a tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than evils to top Macbeth. See who comes here.
My countryman, yet I know him not.
My ever gentle cousin, come hither.
I know him now. Good God, the times remove the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stands Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave. We're nothing, but who knows nothing is once seen in the smile. Sighs, groans, and shrieks that rent the air are made not mine. Where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age, doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teams.
How does my wife?
Why,
Well, and all my children?
well too.
The tyrant has not battered their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goes it?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I had heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witness the rabble, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of hell. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England has lent us good seaward and 10,000 men, an older and a better soldier, none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the light. Would I have words that would be howled out in the desert air? Hear what you should not come.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a degree due to some single breast?
No mind those eyes, but in it shares the world. Though the main part is to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess that is.
Your castle was surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner whereof a warrior is murdered here, at the death of you.
Merciful heaven. What then? Careful your hat upon your brows. Give sorrowed words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
Children too. Wife, children, servants, all of you.
Even this. My wife did too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children.
All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, Elgar. All. What? All my pretty chickens in their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so.
But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part?
Great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech.
Sing, Macbeth, they are all struck for thee. Not that I am. Not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter upon their souls.
Heaven makes thee now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blood not the heart. Enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring now this fiend of Scotland and myself, within my sword's length, set him. He escape, and forgive him too.
This too goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready, our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may.
Though your wish comes.
The night is long, but never finds the day.
This is her very guide, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her stand forth.
How came she by that light?
Why, stood by her. She has light by her continually. As a command.
You see her eyes are open.
Ah, but this stand. Shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her to continue in this for a quarter of an hour.
And here's a spot. Hark, she speaks. Out! Damn spot. Out, I say. 1, 2.
And then it is time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a beard. What need we knows it, but none can call our power to account. Yet you would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him.
Do you mark that?
Pain of fight, where is she now? But these hands dare be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Yet here is the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
Beyond my practice. I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look, not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. You cannot come out of his grave.
Even so.
To bed. Come. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
While whisperings are abroad.
Give me no more reports. Let them fly all. Shall Burnham Wood remove the Don's name? I cannot think with fear. Satan!
Unnatural leaves do breed unnatural troubles. Affected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets.
Where's the boy, Malcolm? Was he not born a woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Satan, I say!
Born each the divine and the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. Mind she has made it in my sight. Think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Then fly, false things, and mingle with English epicure.
A mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord. It was reported.
Till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
It is not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Scurry the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor.
How does the patient, doctor?
And not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thickening fancies that keep her from her rest.
Who cares of that? Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow? Raise out hidden troubles of the brain? Some sweet, oblivious antidote? Cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff that weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it! Satan, send out! Doctor, the things fly for me. Who comes her? Dispatch! If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water in my lamp, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again! Well, pull it off, I say! What rhubarb, sinner, or what permanent drug would scour these English heads? Where's thou there?
Aye, my lord. Your royal preparation makes us here so think.
Bring it after me. I will not pray death.
Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane?
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham. Were I from Dunsinane away clear, prophet again could hardly draw me here.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the number of our host, and make discovery or in report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our settling down before it.
'Tis his main hope. For where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt. And none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will, with due decision, make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe.
Hang out our banners in the outward walls. The cry is still, they come.
What was that, Mark?
It was the cry of women, my good lord.
I've almost forgot the taste of fears. Time's bid my senses would cool to hear my shriek. My dull hair with the dismal treatise rouse and stirs like broken. I'm supped, full of corn. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once stop. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
Should have died hereafter. Would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. How are yesterday's of lighted fools wait at dusky day? Our dark brief candle, last but a walking shadow, cool player struts and fences out upon the stage and then spreads no more. It's a tale told by idiot, full of sound and furious, simplifying me. You start telling my story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but I know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir!
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
Thou speakest false. Upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till found who cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not what thou dost for me as much. I pulled a resolution to doubt the equivocation of the being that lies like truth. Fear my temper would to confidence me.
Now near enough. Your lady screams, throw down, and show like those you are.
And now we would come toward Dunsinane. Arm! Arm and out! If this which ye vouches does appear, there is no flying hence, or tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow, wind! Come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
You, worthy uncle, lead our first battle. Worthy Macbeth and we shall take upon us what else remains to do according to our order.
Very well.
If I be to stake, I cannot fly. But bear like I must fight the course.
Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
And see there was not born of woman. Such a one am I to fear, or none.
Take all our trumpets, speed!
Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
What is thy name?
Thou be afraid to hear?
No. Though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any as in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, a more tyrant. And with my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Words I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's only born.
Show thy face! If thou be slain with no stroke of mine, here thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of greatest notes seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die mine own sort, whilst I see lives that gashes do better upon men?
Turn, hellhound, turn!
All men else, what is thee? Get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain and terms can get thee out.
Now do the same. As easy mayst thou the entrenched air with thy keen sword impressed as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. To thy charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
To spare thy charm. Let the angel whom thou still hast served tell of thee. Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely rent.
Cursed be that tongue that tells me so. For it is cowed by men out of men. And be these juggling fiends no more believe they culture with us in a double sense.
Keep the word of promise, warrior. Break it to our hope. Ah! I will not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rare monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under its ear may you see the tyrant.
Ah! I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, to be bathed with the rabble's curse. No further would be counted unto them. No opposed being of no woman divine. Yet I'll try the last. Lay on, Victor! And damn be him who first cries. Hold! Enough!
So thou art. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutations in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! We shall not spend a large, expensive time producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by stealth and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly burly is done, and the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.